What's up guys, and welcome back for another EVE Online solo mining video. This one we're going to be kind of talking about the blog post that came out. I just happened to read it today. I have not been really doing a lot of EVE lately just because it's felt a lot like what was kind of described in that article as mining is becoming like this long forgotten feature that has really kind of needed a little bit of love for the most part. But wanted to just kind of like do some ice mining out here in nullsec, kind of just talk about the proposed changes that they want to make to mining after Equinox and stuff like that, and kind of where I see my interest in EVE kind of going and kind of shifting. I still enjoy mining, like I'm still in nullsec. I haven't been doing a whole lot in nullsec since I moved out here, unfortunately. I've had a very difficult time trying to kind of get excited, especially after Equinox, about mining, or not just mining in general, but like just EVE for the most part. It's very, very much routine. But I wanted to kind of do a video today, kind of talk about that article a little bit, some of the changes, and while I'm kind of out here doing ice mining and kind of keeping up with all this other stuff too. So I've got to get all this PI and stuff kind of situated as well. I've not been doing a whole lot of PI either, and some of this stuff is actually pretty automatic. I usually come on here every like few days and kind of do this stuff, but I definitely have not been grinding this like I usually do for the most part. But after kind of skimming through that article, the changes, they were just, a lot of it was just talking about the changes to nullsec mining and like adding the new ore sites, which I've covered one of those in a few episodes ago, and those have been great. But yeah, I just like the article stated, the rocks are very small on those, and they're overall just kind of like not overly exciting. But some of the changes that they were talking about in the article that they want to do is making the rocks bigger, fewer rocks but bigger rocks. And that makes a lot of sense. They want to kind of like focus on like capital mining, bring capital mining back. And that makes a lot of sense too. Like, CCP loves to promote destruction, or they love to get miners out in systems, so that, promotes PvP destruction and that whole loop. So obviously they want to get like Rorquals back out, and you're never going to get Rorquals back out mining unless there is significantly big rocks to justify their siege, to justify having them out. They've kind of crippled the excavator drones to the point that they'll probably never get used again, even if there is significantly big rocks, because they're just expensive, and also their yield is just not great. But I do see Rorquals kind of coming back, being a boost ship for some of the barges and the exhumers to kind of take down some of this bigger stuff. But that's what when you read that article about mining changes, you should really be looking at it through that lens. Like, they're not really doing it because they want to like reinvigorate the industry or the mining gameplay loop. What they really want is they want expensive mining ships back out in nullsec. All right, I had to reset because obviously neutral comes in system, but that's why we are in a endurance here, because we can just cloak and hide for a bit. But like I said, for this episode, we're going to be talking mainly about these changes to mining. This article, I read the thing. Now, granted, I didn't read it, word for word. I skimmed through it because, just like most blog posts that CCP has been putting out lately, it says a whole lot of nothing. 80% of that article was them justifying what they did in Equinox, which I don't necessarily think that the new, or providing the different types of materials for nullsec, was a bad thing. But one of the changes they were talking about is making those rocks bigger, making those rocks fewer, which is an obvious thing that should have been kind of like how it was in the beginning. But beyond that, changes, or their vision for how to change mining was lacked any sort of detail, and was more or less like an empty promise than anything. Now, there's only really one change to mining that would get me excited and would allow me to see that we're making progress. I've played a lot of space games that have mining in them, and what they really need to do is they need to give miners or a set of mining ships some combat capabilities, allow us to be combat proficient, be able to defend ourselves. I mean, there are other games out there where the in-game miners have very significant combat capabilities. So it's like, as long as they keep making miners this glass cannon, it's like, oh, I'm gonna mine this rock for 2 minutes before I have to go to pos, or I have to cloak, or I have to go back to rear tether until things clear up, then I can go back out and do my thing. Give us some capabilities to take down some tackle, or do something, make us feel like we're actually I mean, if you were, in my opinion, like if this was like in the how the real world would operate, like if you were in space doing mining at the large degree, like you'd probably have some capabilities, combat capabilities on your ship, especially in a universe as dangerous as New Eden. So it's like, give us some mining ships with some guns on them. Really, making rocks bigger, that's just backpedaling. That's like them taking something away from us 2 years ago or 3 years ago and then giving it back to us and acting like it's a favor, right? Rocks used to be significant size. They did away with that with the short, or the the shortages and stuff like that. But now they're going to come back and be like, we're going to make the rocks bigger for you guys. You're welcome. No, that's how it was, and that's how it should be. But mining is never going to be any more than it already is, unless we can kind of defend ourselves. Miners can defend themselves. Otherwise, we have to resort to having additional alts in combat ships, coordinating with our mining in nullsec and stuff. They also talked about in the article where there is potential of them kind of doing more things in different areas of space. They didn't say which areas of space, but I'm assuming that they're talking about probably making adjustments to posture and making adjustments to wormhole space, low sec. I really doubt they're going to do a whole lot with high sec. I'd be surprised. I think that they don't really want people in high sec. The reason the big focus for Equinox was null sec was because they need destruction. Destruction, ships blowing up, PvP, all that sells Plex, and Plex makes money, so that's how that goes. But the thing is, like, they can make a mining ship that has combat capabilities, and it could feed that economy just as well. So like this ship right here, instead of it just being like a one-trick pony, if a frigate or something that tries to come in and tackle me comes in, and I can do something about it, not just crab off, which is essentially my only real option. But other than that, I read that article today, and I just want to kind of do like an episode. I know I haven't been around a whole lot. I want to be around more and do more content. It's just I've had a really difficult time getting motivated about EVE with everything feeling so stagnant. So I might just have to shift gears. I know, like, it wasn't that long ago that we kind of moved out here to nullsec and was going to focus on nullsec content, but out here is just as boring as high sec in my opinion. So I might have to like look at everything and figure out what my priorities are. I'm open to suggestions too. I really am more into like PI than pretty much anything nowadays, because PI at least is something that allows me to kind of tinker a little bit. It isn't too crazy hands-on or whatever. The reason I came out here in nullsec with like endurances and prospects and things like that is because I very much expected to be just doing covert mining, because otherwise doing big operations anymore is just way too much for me. I've kind of been down that road. I've talked about that in the past. So I kind of like where our assets are right now in terms of the ships we have out here and everything. I do want to like do probably some fuel block stuff. I think that we probably will lean into fuel block in this series, doing the PI for it, doing the ice mining for it, and just kind of showing what that looks like on a day-to-day basis, or even just like a weekly basis. A lot of it comes down to just really doing a lot of ice mining, keeping up on your PI, and then running those jobs. So I know I've been talking about that for the past few episodes or so, but I really do need to get to JITA and get those BPOs sent out here and get that research going. But as you can see, we already have a good majority of the PI kind of running for that. I just need to be really good about like coming in and turn this stuff on. And like I said, if you are interested in like these templates, I talked about this in the other episode, or when I talked about these templates before, basically my working template set is available on Patreon as well. Patreon is one of the bigger sources of the channel, supporting the channel and stuff like that. But for fuel blocks, we will be relying a lot on PI and kind of moving it around a lot. These templates will help. The templates will help considerably in that. I don't think I've ever done. I haven't actually done fuel blocks or anything like crazy like that since the templates have been out. So I'm actually really interested to see how that kind of changes everything and all that. But I really want to do this quick episode today. Next episode, we're going to be probably in Jita doing a little bit of shopping. It's been a while since I've bought anything. We're going to probably get like the BPOs for fuel blocks, some other things, get them shipped out here, kind of show you that process. I know there's a lot of questions about people how do you get assets out to nullsec. I operate by myself out here. I am in my buddy's logistics corporation, but that's just so I can have a blue tag. But for the most part, I don't, respond to any pings. I kind of do my own thing. So I'll kind of explain, how I get assets out here. And we also need to send like a Tingu out here, I think, to do some ratting. I think, we're going to be doing kind of the full spectrum of nullsec stuff, in addition to everything else we're doing for mining and stuff. Because sometimes it's nice to just have a Tingu out to be able to do some scans and clear the agency of signatures and kind of do some preventative maintenance when it comes to that stuff before like a mining op. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I'm gonna do my very best to start providing more consistent content in Eve. I can just use your help too, getting motivated. Usually I'm the motivator, but sometimes I need you guys to help motivate me too. But yeah, we're gonna continue mining out here and do some ice, a little bit here, a little bit there. It all stacks and adds up, But anyway, thank you for watching the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to support the channel and see additional exclusive content, head over to my Patreon page. All those links are in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.